Definitely, thank you for the comment. I definitely have some advice. Now, depending on what you want to do with it, it's totally up to you. But here's the most important thing that you have to do as a new supervisor is figure out how to drive results immediately. Now, your boss, everyone else here, or you might have other people tell you something different, like meet with your team, have one-on-ones and all that stuff. Yes, that's important, but you're going to be known by your team and by your organization whether or not you know how to drive results and get things done. Because once you figure that out, the impact to that is increased customer service, increased culture, increased satisfaction overall. There's a lot of things that happen because you're driving results immediately as a first time supervisor. So here's what you do. You have to realize that you're going to have to build trust with your team. As a new supervisor, that's really important because you're the first line of defense. You have a group of people that you have and you're trying to lead them, right? So you're going to have to build trust. And the way you do that is by working side by side with them and figuring out what's their biggest frustrations, right? What are they struggling with? What are the things that you can help them fix? Now, the way you do that, one, is you set up a daily huddle meeting every single day. Without failure, you conduct a huddle meeting every single morning at the beginning of the shift for about 7 to 10 minutes. You talk about plan versus actual. How did it go yesterday? What are we doing today? You provide recognition, and these are some things we're doing differently today to get better. The second thing is that you start planning the work for the entire week. Remember, your role focuses on today and tomorrow and this week, next week. Your manager's role is to set up the thinking is this month and next month. So you've got to plan everything out for this week. That means work, right? Work expectations around that. So you do that every single week. By the end of Friday, you're doing it for next week. Great. Second thing. The third thing is that you've got to get good at setting expectations. Use the SMART method to do that. Makes it very clear. So when you do your huddle meeting, you set clear expectations around what you want to happen that day. With that, the second part to that is you've got to be very consistent with follow-up. You set expectations, then you're following up immediately within the hour, 2 hours, and sometimes in the afternoon to ensure that work is progressing the way you set as an expectation. You're going to get a little pushback because of that. That's okay. Your role is to follow up to make sure the work is progressing. Nothing personal. All it is work related. And the last thing is set up a weekly meeting with your boss, preferably towards the end of the week. So you can, same concept, plan versus actual. Hey boss, this is how I planned last week, and this is what I did, and this is how I'm progressing this week. With that, I'm meeting my objectives. These are my KPIs. By the way, I have a KPI ebook that you need to download and go get. Then with that, you're providing communication upward to your boss. This is how I'm progressing. This is my plan is. And by the way, this is my plan for next week. And these are my top 3 issues or barriers that I'm focused on. And this is how I plan to resolve those. So once you have those components in place, do that every single time. Do not fail on the huddle meetings, on setting expectations, on your follow-ups, and your weekly meeting with your boss. Do not let those fail. Keep those very consistent, and you're going to see results. It's not everything that I teach, but I think as a start, that's a good method to start. If you get the ebooks, make an investment, do that. I'm going to have a course come out that teaches you more about what I just said in more detail. But as a first-time supervisor, those I think are the key components that you need to get started with.